What's good, NFL fam? Buckle up, because we're diving into the wildest drama of the NFL draft, and it ain't about who got pickied. It's about who got straight up ghosted. In a league that's all about grit, hustle, and letting the tape talk, one moment's got everybody buzzing, and it's not going away anytime soon. Shedeur Sanders, the QB with ice in his veins, crazy stats, and a bloodline that screams greatness, found himself caught in a media storm. But it wasn't for what he said. It was for what the NFL didn't want you to see. The draft's supposed to be about who's got the goods tape, talent, leadership. But somewhere along the line, that foundation got shaky. When the New York Giants dropped interview footage of QB prospect Jackson Dart, it lit a fuse. The clip was cringeworthy, awkward, tense, and straight up rough. Dart looked rattled, not like the guy you hand your franchise keys to, but the real tea. It's not what they showed, it's what they buried. Shedeur Sanders, who also sat down with the Giants, had his footage locked away, not leaked, not mentioned, just gone. And that silence, it's raising all kinds of red flags. Why is one guy getting dragged while another's tape is under lock and key? What was in Shedeur's interview that was so juicy, or maybe so real, that they couldn't let it see daylight? As fans and analysts started digging, things got messy. Was Shedeur the problem, or was someone behind the scenes trying to control the narrative? If this was just about football, the stats don't lie. But if it's about ego, power, or optics, then Shedeur might have never had a fair shot, and that's where the real drama kicks off. The first shoe dropped when the Giants aired Dart's messy interview. NFL insiders called it a disaster. Guy looked overwhelmed, unprepared, not QB1 material. The Giants putting that out there, that's not just bold, that's cold-blooded. But then, crickets. Shedeur's interview vanished. Poof. Gone. Rumors started swirling. Some said it tanked. Others claimed he walked out. A few even whispered he came off cocky. But with no tape, it's all just noise, no proof, no receipts. So why show Dart's flop but hide Shedeur's? If both QBs got grilled by the same team, and the NFL's all about keeping it 100, why is one in the spotlight and the other erased? Fans weren't having it. They started calling out the Giants left and right. Some said the team was dodging heat. Others thought they were burying a story before it blew up. Let's keep it real. NFL fans ain't dumb. You know how much image matters in this game. When one prospect gets roasted publicly and another swept under the rug, it ain't about football anymore. It's about spin. In Shedeur Sanders' case, the silence was louder than any highlight reel. Even before this interview mess, media heads like Albert Breer had already made up their minds about Shedeur. Breer was out here ranking him below Jackson Dart and Cam Ward, doubling down in articles, interviews, even on X. To him, it was Ward, Dart, then Shedeur, case closed. But the tape, it's telling a whole different story. Shedeur wrapped up his college career with a ridiculous 74% completion rate, elite in any league, especially when the whole country's watching. Dart, 67.2%, Ward, 67%. That's not a gap, it's a Grand Canyon. Touchdowns, Shedeur dropped 37, just two shy of Ward's 39, while Dart trailed with 29. Ball security, smarts, poise. Shedeur was locked in, showing the kind of football IQ that wins games. So why was he slept on? Some say it's bias against his system. Shedeur played for his pops, Deion Sanders. He had cameras, hype, and a big social media game. Maybe that rubbed the old school scouts the wrong way. But if football's about results, leadership, and winning, Shedeur checked every box, except the one labeled fits the mold. Then came the bombshell from Colin Cowherd. The loudmouth media guy claimed Shedeur's Giants interview was the worst he'd ever seen. Bold even for Cowherd. He said when they hit Shedeur with a bad game scenario, asked him what went wrong and how he'd fix it, Shedeur allegedly clapped back with, "Maybe I'm not your guy." That line, it blew up. Critics jumped on it, calling him cocky, soft, even questioning his love for the game. They tore into his poise, his self-awareness, everything. But then the real story started leaking. According to Breer, Shedeur was handed a film reel full of busted plays, clips where the mistakes were blurry at best. It was a trap, a mental gauntlet dressed up as a film session. Shedeur, frustrated, pushed back. "That not your guy?" line? It wasn't arrogance. It was him calling out a rigged game. Picture this, you're a young QB, walk into a cold, sterile room, get handed chaotic clips with zero context, and told to break down failures that stump anybody. Suddenly, the worst interview ever feels less like a choke and more like a setup. The NFL loves to talk transparency, but when it came to Shedeur's tape, same as they did with Dart, they chose radio silence. Not because there was nothing to show, but because what they didn't show says everything. Fans kept asking why drop one video but not the other. What's in Shedeur's interview that we're not allowed to see? Were the Giants scared it'd make them look bad, bracing for backlash over how they ran it? Or worse, was there something in that tape that could have flipped the whole narrative and proved the haters wrong? If we're judging Shedeur's mindset off rumors, wouldn't the fair move be to let us see the tape? Let it speak for itself? That's what happened with Dart. His shaky moments were out there, and fans could decide if it was nerves or a red flag. But with Shedeur, we got nothing. Worse, the media ran wild with that one soundbite. "Maybe I'm not your guy." Like that single line, ripped out of context, defines him. No setting, no tone, no vibe. Just a quote treated like it's the Bible. So you gotta ask, was this about football, or was it about crafting a story? If Shedeur really bombed, wouldn't the Giants want to prove it? If he was immature or lacked EQ, wouldn't the tape back them up? But they didn't share it, and that silence, that's the biggest red flag of all. As the drama heated up, another big name jumped in: Cam Newton. The former MVP didn't hold back. On a segment with Stephen A. Smith, Newton hinted that Shedeur was dodging real competition, acting like he could pick and choose where he plays. To Newton, that screamed entitlement. A young QB acting like he's already made it. Those words hit hard because Newton's been there: the pressure, the hype, the scrutiny. When he talks, people listen. But was it fair? Or was it just an old school vet clashing with the new gen? Shedeur ain't just any prospect. He's Deion Sanders' son, a legend's kid, a media star, and now a coach's pupil. His whole career's been under a microscope. Every word, every move, every choice picked apart in real time. So when he talks with confidence about his future, it's not laziness, it's clarity. Is that cocky or is that leadership? The NFL's always loved QBs with swagger. Joe Burrow, Aaron Rodgers, even Newton back in the day, they walked into rooms with their heads high and their words sharp. But when Shedeur does it, it's ego. That double standard's glaring. Maybe it's his legacy. Maybe it's race. Maybe it's just his vibe. But the media saw what they wanted: a villain. But here's where their story falls apart. On the field, it didn't take long for Shedeur to flip the script at OTAs with the Cleveland Browns. He wasn't getting the most reps, didn't have Joe Flacco's vet status or the hype around rookie Dylan Gabriel, but he made every snap count. Insiders said he threw 3 TDs, 0 pips on just 7 attempts. That's not just good, it's surgical. The same dude who called Shedeur's Giants interview a train wreck was now saying he should start over a Super Bowl MVP and a hotshot rookie. Why? Because the NFL's a "what have you done lately" league, and lately Shedeur's been cooking. Something's brewing in Cleveland, and it's bigger than just football. While fans are glued to the field, a quiet revolution's happening behind closed doors, one that could reshape the Browns' future from the front office to the end zone. Before we dive deeper, smash that like button and stay tuned for all the latest. Let's rewind to the first big move. Dan Sagan, a key piece of the Browns' front office, bolted for the Tennessee Titans as VP of Player Personnel. For most teams, losing a guy like that would be panic mode, but not Cleveland. They had a plan. Stepping up, Adam Alkery. If that name's not ringing bells yet, it will. At just 36, Alkery's now Director of Player Personnel. A huge leap, not just a title bump. This guy started as a Browns intern in 2015, grinded his way up, and brings a killer combo Princeton economics degree in the heart of a former college whiteout. That's brains and hustle, and it's now steering Cleveland's roster and strategy. Alkery's rise screams one thing: the Browns are betting on their own, building a culture from the inside out. With his sharp mind and player's perspective, it's a gamble that could pay off big, but the front office isn't the only place heating up. The QB room's straight fire, and Shedeur Sanders is at the center. Remember the draft hype? The questions. The slide from a first-round lock to the 144th pick in the 5th round, that didn't shake him. It lit a fire. Since OTAs kicked off, Shedeur's been rewriting his story, shutting down doubters with every throw. By June 4, he wasn't just holding his own against vets like Flacco and Kenny Pickett. He was outshining them. 9 of 14 passes, 3 TDs, 1 pick. Those aren't rookie numbers, those are "I'm here" numbers. Per Mary Kay Cabot at Cleveland. The Browns are even thinking about keeping 4 QBs on the roster, with Shedeur in the mix. This ain't about cap space, it's about belief. Belief that Shedeur's not just a project, but could leapfrog Pickett and Flacco by summer's end. This QB battle, it's real, it's intense, and it's got fans dreaming of a new era with Shedeur as QB1, slinging it with swagger and smarts. Helping that dream take shape is vet tight end David Njoku. This dude's caught TDs from 8 different Browns QBs and might be gearing up for number 9. At minicamp, Njoku was mic'd up, vibing with Shedeur, building chemistry right there on the field. "I'm with you," he told the rookie during drills. Small moment, big impact. Trust, connection, belief. Later, Njoku even shared his signature TD celebration with Shedeur, a quiet but clear sign the rookie's already in the circle. The coaches are noticing too. QB coach Bill Musgrave was hyping Shedeur's accuracy and placement, even while joking about Njoku's hands. Shedeur, cool as ever, all swagger. Njoku clapped back: "Just throw it to me, I'll handle it." That's the vibe in Cleveland right now. Young blood, bold confidence, and a culture built on trust and competition. Something's shifting, and it might just be the start of something massive. And Njoku's not the only one feeling it. His energy's spreading through the locker room, from props to Pickett to hyping Myles Garrett. This chemistry could be the foundation for the Browns' next chapter. But while the vibes are high, one guy's under serious pressure: Deion Jones. Heading into his 3rd season, Jones is at a crossroads. Last year, Cleveland's O-line gave up 66 sacks, 2nd worst in the league. After a stellar rookie year, Jones hit a sophomore slump, a broken fibula, then a knee injury, tanked his momentum, and his PF grade plummeted to 44.1 in 3 starts. With Jedrick Wills Jr. out for 2025, Jones is the guy at left tackle, the only projected starter under 30. They brought in vet Cornelius Lucas as insurance, but let's be real, Lucas is gunning for that spot. For the 6'8", 3074-pound Jones, this is do or die. Can he lock down the line and protect Cleveland's future? Or will injuries and inconsistency crack the door for someone else? So here we are at a front office leveling up, a QB room full of sparks, a locker room buzzing with belief, and a young lineman fighting for his career. The 2025 Browns are writing their story, and it's reading like a blockbuster. What do you think? Is Adam Al-Khairi the real deal as director of player personnel? Can Shedeur Sanders be Cleveland's next great QB? Will Deion Jones step up and own the trenches? Hit the comments and let us know. And speaking of the next chapter, let's zoom back to Shedeur Sanders, because his vibe is changing the whole tone of Cleveland's offseason. What started as a low-risk fifth-round pick is now the biggest storyline of the summer. This is the QB whose draft stock tanked despite a stacked college resume and an NFL-ready arm. But in Cleveland, he's not just a rookie, he's shaking up the depth chart, smashing expectations and pushing vets to step up. Joe Flacco, the 40-year-old Super Bowl champ, was supposed to be the wise old head. Pickett was the backup with starting experience. Dylan Gabriel, another rookie, was depth. But Shedeur, he's proving he's more than a coach's kid, more than a hype machine. He's a legit NFL QB, showing it where it counts. On the field, this was never just about football. It was about control, optics, and a system protecting its image while a media machine built him up and tore him down. From the second Shedeur entered the draft, the story was set Deion's son, too cocky, too polished, too Hollywood. They called it coach's son syndrome. They griped about his media bubble. And when he pushed back, even a little, it became ammo. Meanwhile, lesser-known QBs got praised for the same traits. Swagger was leadership for them. Picky was vision. But for Shedeur, it was ego. The double standard's obvious. He complains, while others raise concerns. He ducks competition, while others plan their careers. He's overhyped, while others are undervalued. Race, legacy, style, it all shapes the narrative. But the media didn't see this coming. Shedeur shutting them up with his play. When you lead a high-profile college team, throw 37 TDs, hit 74% of your passes, and then light up your first NFL reps, the story changes. Not because the media wants it to, but because it has to. Shedeur's not a headline. He's the real deal, and no spin can hide that. So, did the NFL whiff on Shedeur Sanders? They leaned on rumors, painted his character with secondhand stories, and judged his confidence off one out-of-context quote. They let whispers trump tape, let optics dictate value. But now, the stats don't lie. The play speaks louder than any narrative, and the leadership's undeniable. Let this be a wake-up call for coaches, scouts, and fans. Don't let stories cloud the truth. Don't let silence bury reality. And never sleep on a QB who's just getting warmed up. Thanks for rocking with us. Drop your thoughts below and keep it locked for more!